In my RV, I have a Dometic RV refrigerator, the 12 volt kind that does both electric and propane, but both require 12 volts for the refrigerator to operate. And last year when our refrigerator was unreliable, it would always break down in the middle of the night. And one of the things I did was modify the eyebrow board so that I could know when or if the refrigerator was actually off. If you have an older Dometic refrigerator where you just have the on and off and the gas button, you'll know that the orange amber lights are your indicators for both the refrigerator being on and for it being in trouble condition. During the middle of the nights, my refrigerator would alarm, saying that the refrigerator is warming up, so I would get out of bed and start walking toward the refrigerator. Well, as I was getting nearer the refrigerator, I would see the orange light that was on. Was it really on, or was it in trouble? Half the time, I wouldn't know. So I wanted to change that so I'd know a little bit more about the refrigerator being on or not working. You can tell by the little circuit board here that's in the eyebrow board, there's not much to it. There's just the two LED bulbs and the two on and off toggles. And since they were both orange, it was going to be an easy process to switch this out. If you're into soldering and making connections and changes to circuit boards, then this will be easy for you. I'm moderately okay at doing that, and it didn't look too intimidating to me. After reading the manual, I found that there is 12 volts coming from the back of the refrigerator to this control board itself. That was going to make it easy to replace with existing LEDs that you can find on the internet now. I got this idea from a repair I did recently on my ham radio gear where the LED bulb was burned out and I needed to replace that. So I found the LED voltage range that I wanted, and it ended up being these 9 volt to 12 volt LED bulbs. Well, I found a bunch of these bulbs, a bunch of different colors in a variety pack, ordered those, and that's what I started with. Here's an example of these blue ones. Black is for ground and the blue color is the positive, and that's the color that you're going to get. And maybe you can't tell, but wired in here, and I'm going to strip this back and show you there is a resistor, and that's what you're going to have to take out. It's on this side. You can see it bulging right about there. Once you get rid of this resistor, your LED is going to work perfectly in 12 volts. The pack that I purchased, I got on Amazon, and I'll put a link in the description below. I got 56 LEDs altogether, and there were 7 different colors, and that gave me the 56 at $7.99, at least at the time of this video. The eyebrow board itself is really pretty straightforward to get off. It just snaps onto the refrigerator itself. Once you get this overall board, it's on top, in my case it's on top of the refrigerator. Once you get that removed, the eyebrow board itself just snaps out of this little hole insert right here. And I worried about ruining the board, so I looked online, and to replace this board was like $79. So I know worst case scenario is if I ruined it, that I'd be buying a new board. If you're not comfortable with doing something like this, then I'll just enjoy what I did and you'll see how easy it was for me. Once I replaced this old LED, the old amber one, with it's going to be green when it turns on. Once I replaced that and soldered it in, we're ready to go. I made sure it was the same height from side to side. Otherwise it wouldn't fit properly inside the eyebrow board holes. But it's going to go inside these holes. That's where it's going to fit. Now the LED worked great. I plugged it in, it came on, it was absolutely fantastic. There was only one drawback. That LED was so bright. It's like a neon light at night. So I had to make a change to that to make it work, and here's what I did. I used a paint marker. I have a paint marker that I use to do things on my Jeep, to do different markings, and it's not like a Sharpie marker, it's an actual paint marker with a shaker inside of it. And this happens to be white. So what I did was mark the top of the LED white so that it can still pierce through. It won't change the color, it'll still be green. So that's what it looks like now. Let's plug it in and see what the end result's going to be like. So now that this thing's fixed, it's probably never going to do the alarm again, but now I'm this far away. I'm probably 12, 15 feet away from the refrigerator. In the middle of the night, especially without my glasses, if I can't see what light's on, I really don't know what the problem is. So now, this far away, you can see it's a huge difference now. If I turn off the lights, I know it's still daytime, but I can guarantee you before, that thing is so bright, you can see the difference between this here and what it was. What a difference. That thing was so bright. It is nice to have this on. So the indicator now is going to be green. So when I'm on shore power and this thing is good to go, it's going to have a green light and no other light. So you can see there the amber trouble light, or the check light, like the check engine light for your refrigerator. That is only there because of the Dinosaur Electronics board. The way that board is, I guess it's meant for a couple of different refrigerators, but it works in ours. And it's supposed to be sending a signal to a refrigerator that we don't have, so it's looking to send a signal to a control board that this doesn't have the ability to do. So that's a dim amber light. When it's on and it's bright, you can tell the difference. It's as bright as the green light is now. So now with the two amber lights out of the picture, I have a green and an amber. I'm going to know the difference between the refrigerator being on as green or in trouble as amber. And that's a good thing. So I'm really excited about this upgrade. All in all, it probably took me a couple hours between researching it, tearing apart the diode, testing the LED lights to make sure they'd work, and all that sort of thing. But if you have all the parts and you put it in place, it's maybe a 15 or a 20-minute project. But for me, it was a couple hours. I didn't hurry. I rushed it out. I just kind of planned what I wanted to do. Ever since I replaced the Dometic board with the Dinosaur Electronics board, this refrigerator has been flawless. So if you haven't done that, I highly recommend it. I'll put a link for that one in the description below as well. And of course, if you're new here, consider subscribing to get more videos like this. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.